up, and welcome to Opposites Attract Podcast. This is Sonia Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How was your day?
How was your week?
How is your life?
Going. And like we've said before we get started, make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. Go to our clips channel, Opposites Attract Podcast Clips on YouTube, and find your favorite clip. Share it with somebody else. Tell them to subscribe, to like the podcast, leave us comments, thumbs up, all that stuff. You guys know what to do. It all helps us out.
Yes, yes.
And we're back.
We are back.
After the holiday. You guys have already been back, but this is our first podcast back after the holidays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, because I've been setting up the podcast, you know, I had to take some time today to remember the setup, but I'm excited for it because I'm going to be launching my Soul to Soul Conversation podcast, and I got my first guest, so that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
People love that.
So I'm going to, record a few episodes before I launch it. I haven't set a launch date yet. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What
Do you have an
launch
idea?
Date is going to be.
I know you talked about having like episodes pre-recorded so that, you know, you could just launch it and not have to worry about recording. And how many do you think do you have an idea of like how often you're going to release episodes, or
I want to try once a week.
Once a week?
Mm-hmm. But I think they're going to be.
Once a week is a lot.
I think they're going to be. Well, that's why I'm recording ahead. Like I want at least 6 or 7 recorded. So that's why, 6 or 7 will give me some time where in between, because I'm learning, right? And it may be even more because I think my episodes they're going to be shorter.
Okay.
So one
maybe
recording, will be 2 recordings.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking of doing. Like an
part
hour,
part 1 and part 2, or depending on what it is,
Yeah.
part 1, 2, and 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So that's really cool. And today I have my first sound bath. I got all my toys.
Not those toys. You got to get to the sound effects, yo.
I know.
Something's going on. I think this is going to look weird for some reason.
Yeah, I thought the color was because of the lights.
Oh, I think I know what it is. But keep going. Yeah, you're
Okay.
doing your first sound bath.
Yeah, so I'm doing my first sound bath today. I got my bowls. I got my Koshi chime. I got all these fun things. I got my ocean drum. And so my friend is having an event, and she asked that I help her, with doing a sound bath. But it's not just going to be a sound bath. So it's going to be I'm going to have the meditation, the slight movement, which it's going to be vinyasa yoga, but I'm just going to call it light movement. And then we're going to get into the sound healing.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I have all my setup. So I'm really excited about that.
I heard you talking to somebody, talking about how like 2025 is the year for you. Because these are all new things that you're doing. Like you're setting up the podcast. You're talking about recording a new podcast. Now you're doing the sound healing, which is the first time that you're doing that. And there's a lot of firsts for you.
I'm really excited about the sound bath. And now that I got my crystal bowls, they sound beautiful, by the way. Because now I get to go volunteer into the group homes again and just volunteer and provide that service for them. Yeah. And so I'm really excited about getting that started as well. I feel like there's a lot, and I felt like 2025 was going to be that. Like, I feel like 2024 was where I was just being like, just going within and doing a lot of self-processing, even though, like I had my clients and everything, it felt a bit slow for me. Right. And 2025 seems like, it's coming on strong.
Yeah.
Because I'm also helping with the Ultimate Coach Being movement. And if you guys don't know about that, and you want to, just look up the Ultimate Coach. We have a Facebook group page, and we have so much going on, not only here, but around the world. So they're actually having another event as well in Peru in April. So that's going to be super cool. But anyways,
Yeah.
it's here in Arizona, and I was asked to help lead that. So not the entire event, but like, with the registration and the pre-event. So I'm going to be doing another sound bath healing with some other people that do like breath work and
So
yoga,
you get some different,
like a yogi, but I will only be hosting the sound bath, but I'm in charge of that event as well.
Yeah.
So I have 8 individuals that I'm working with. And so I'm learning how to lead, but also I'm having a brain fart.
delegate.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And these are people from everywhere. Like I was talking to Matthew from Birmingham, so I set up a Zoom call for Monday, and I just said it because there's no way I'm going to be able to accommodate everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to record the Zoom. So now I'm stepping into Zoom and stepping up, learning and knowing how to navigate that, which is great because I want to start my coaching group container this year as well. So there's a lot like going on, but I'm excited about it. And I feel so grounded with what I'm doing. Like I don't feel like overwhelmed. It's which is pretty odd.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel stressed.
Well, one thing that you've started doing is you've been fasting you started drinking something yesterday or the day before, but you've only been drinking liquids pretty much, right? You haven't ate anything yet?
I did a water fast for 5 days. And then yesterday I added the ginger and lemon.
Yeah.
And the active charcoal.
So how many days has it been total?
7.
Has it been, it's been
Today
7.
It's 7.
7
It's been
days.
a full week. Yeah. Yeah. And
how do you feel?
I feel great. I feel so good. I feel focused. And maybe that's why I'm not feeling stressed, because I'm just,
you don't have the
calm.
energy to stress.
Well, but that's the thing. I do have energy.
Yeah.
Right? Like you've noticed like throughout the day, like when it comes to around 8:00, that's when I feel my energy coming down, but I've been feeling alive.
Yeah, no, you've been dancing and cooking and doing stuff around the house, and every once in a while you'll be shaking your butt and,
Yeah, so I do have the energy to do things. And there's this book and this podcast that I've been listening to, and I'll share it with you guys on the next podcast because
it's a lot.
I really feel that every woman should listen to this podcast, but also read her book, which is Fast Like a Girl, and the benefits of fasting. So I'm going to bring all that to you guys next week, so that I can take notes and not sound like a dumbass, because there's a really lot to not a lot to explain, but there's a lot of information.
Yeah.
But I feel that, for me, it's just brought me so much clarity and peace and I don't know, even joy.
Did it put you into a state, would you say? Have you felt that? Because I'm asking because, like fasting is something that, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast. I know we talked about it, but at this point, it's been a couple weeks since we've recorded. I don't remember if we talked about this or not, but I was kind of thinking, because you were fasting, you're reading this book, Fast Like a Girl. And at one point I was kind of thinking about like, what is it that you're doing when you're fasting, and what is happening, or like what things happen when you fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to explain next week.
And then
it's going to be amazing.
I was like, well, that has to do with eating, but then also drinking. Like we know that if you don't drink water for a certain period of time, you get dehydrated and you can die from that. But what happens before you die? Like we're out here in Arizona, so we hear about it all the time, people getting dehydrated in the desert and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
Your judgment becomes impaired. You start seeing things, and then like sometimes like who knows? Like, but when you're fasting, people associate all the things that happen with fasting a lot of times with like a spiritual thing, or that like there's a spiritual connection with fasting where with being dehydrated there isn't. You know, and you would accept the explanation that I was seeing visions because I was dehydrated.
Yeah.
But if you see visions when you're fasting, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
like that's because it was spiritual, not because I was not eating.
Yeah.
For freaking 4 or 5 days.
And I've been meditating, right? Like I'm back on my
What
schedule.
is that like? Have you noticed the difference meditating between fasting and not fasting?
No. I mean,
really?
Because I'm able to I'm able to bring myself to that stillness. Yeah, even before fasting. But I feel, and I have these conversations, you know, with God. Like I have these conversations, but I've always had these conversations. So I didn't feel any different. I feel a bit more at peace, I think.
Calm?
Yeah. When I'm meditating, and I want to meditate even more in this state because it's faster. I'm faster. It's faster to get into that stillness versus me having to breathe. I don't have to like do any breath work. I just, boom, I get in it right away. You know, but it's funny. And I was sharing this with you because I had a conversation and, you know, I was asking God, like, who are you? And it always comes back to, I am you. And I am everything that is. I am the tree. I am the flower. I am the dirt. Like I am everything that is, you know, and yeah, but those conversations I've had before fasting. So that was nothing new, you know, but there is a lot. For instance, I haven't been wearing deodorant.
That's
Right. And I haven't been, okay. Before fasting, if I didn't wear deodorant, oh no. There's no way, because I'd be stinking. But since I've been fasting, you know, it's very slight. Like it's very slight.
Like you're like, check this out. And I'm like,
I had him smell my pits.
It's kind of gross. I mean, it's a couples podcast. It is what it is, you know?
I mean,
I'm saying if for somebody else it could be, but I did it. Like, what the?
It's not gross. I'm like, right? Yeah, like, and it wasn't bad, right?
I was like, ooh.
And I haven't been putting on any like creams or anything, and my face like looks amazing. Like my skin looks glowing. Like I haven't been really having to wear makeup. Like I would put, you know, lipstick and mascara on, and but no, you know, like foundation or anything. You know, so yeah, there's just a lot, you know, that I've been noticing with this longer fast. And I don't feel like I'm starving. Yesterday, we went to In-N-Out as a family, right?
Yeah.
And I was like looking at you guys and I'm like smelling the food because your senses enhance. That's another thing. Your senses enhance with fasting. But I've been cooking some awesome meals for you guys, right? And I told Miguel, I think I like cooking when I'm fasting, which is stupid as shit, you know, because
it's like the opposite.
Right. But I enjoy, cooking, you know, and I almost feel like my food comes out more flavorful. I don't know.
I mean, it's been good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been on top of my shit.
Yeah.
You've had lunch every day, coffee. I've been helping Joey with his lunch because normally once they hit 10, I started having them
do their thing,
their laundry and making their lunch, you know? And I decided, you know, I have some time in the morning because I've been waking up early. So I'm going to go ahead and make Joey lunch. and help him get ready. And he's been looking so cute.
Yeah.
And he likes that. I think his love language is acts of service.
Yeah.
Because he really enjoys that. He's like, thanks, Mom. I'm like, hey, your lunch is made. Thanks, Mom. And then when I comb his hair, he allows me to put lotion on his face. And, you know, he just, I think his love language is acts of service and quality time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's something like our kids are getting bigger. I mean, our daughter just got her permit. Just got a permit. She's 15 and a half. You know, our son is 13. And like you said, he's getting big. And, you know, there's something that I wanted to mention because, like you just mentioned, all the stuff that you have going on, right?
Yeah, and that's not all of it.
You got the new podcast. You got an event that you're going to be doing today, your first sound bath. You got your retreat going on. You know, you're working on your coaching. There's like all these things going on. I got my fighting podcast. I got this podcast. I got work going on. I have jujitsu going on. You know, there's a lot of things. I have something else that I'll mention that I'm working on that I'm excited about. And we got these kids.
And we have each other. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Hey, we look like.
Yeah, I know. Something's up.
Sorry.
I don't know what happened.
I set the white balance.
We're going to be blue for some reason.
We're going to look like Smurfs.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You have to watch it.
Go ahead, baby. Everybody's going to watch it because we look like Smurfs.
It is what it is. But yeah, like you see and I think it's not like you shouldn't do these things. Mm-hmm. You have to do the things because these things are.
What do you mean?
No, you don't. You don't have to do the things. You have to do the things that you want to do.
Right. Yeah.
Not the things that you feel like I have to do this. No, if you want to do something, do it. Mm-hmm. Because eventually you'll go back and if you don't, you'll be like, man, I wonder what that would have been. Mm-hmm. Oh, I wonder if I could have, just fucking try it. The one thing that I was, anyway. And when you have these kids, it's important for them to see us work on these things because they're going to have these things in their life that they get an idea that they're passionate about. Oh, I think this is great. I'm really excited. Fucking go for it, and they'll have examples of us doing that. But they're also at an age where Audrey already has her friends. Joey is building his friends. Yesterday, he was supposed to go to his friend's house. He's at a friend's soccer tournament right now. Mm-hmm. And I see, especially with Joey, maybe, because he's a boy and I'm his dad, but he wants me right now. Mm-hmm. And there's times that I'm doing things and I can tell that he wants my attention. And there's times that I'm like, dude, I'm in the middle of something right now. Like I can't, I'm doing something. Mm-hmm. But I have to do better. I have to do better at this, but I have been trying to, even if I'm in the middle of something, just being like, look, I'm busy. I'm doing something. You know what this is. What we do. When I'm done with this, we'll hang out. We'll play video games. We'll go for a bike ride. We'll do something. Right? Mm-hmm. But there's times that I've missed it because I kept working on stuff.
Yeah.
And I notice that that's an opportunity gone.
Yeah.
Because he's getting older. And there's going to be a time when I come to him and I say, hey, Joe, you want to play video games or you want to go? And he's going to be like, I'm going to go hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to fucking sit there.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to play with him.
Right.
So it's something, and I don't know if it's different between, being a dad and having a boy and having a girl. I feel it with Joey. I feel like he wants that attention from me.
Yeah.
I don't feel it as much with Audrey, and I think it's just different relationships,
Yeah.
But yeah, just gotta. These things are important that we do. Yeah. But our kids are more important.
Yeah. The other day, Audrey was like that with me. She's like, Mom, you and I are hanging out today.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, I'm like, but I haven't seen your dad all day. She's like, nope, you and I are hanging out today. So I'm like, okay. And then last night, you and Joey were hanging out, but I had like so much going on because I was like, well, I asked Audrey, right? Because
yeah, she was tired.
yeah, she was tired, but I'm like, hey, you want to watch a movie today? And she probably would have wanted to did something else. And she's like, no, I don't want to be in front of a screen. And I said, okay. But then I'm like, and this is for me, this is something that I have to push through because there's stuff that's picking up. And I have to prepare, right? Like I want to be the best that I can. And, you know, my friend asked me to do this for her and there were things that I needed to do and the event is today. And it was late when we got back and I did want to hang out with her. But when I asked her about the movie, she's like, no, I don't want to, you know, be in front of a screen. She's like, and I'm tired. And then I was like, okay. But I could have said, well, you want to play a board game or something? She would have jumped on that, right?
Yeah.
But then I remembered, I'm like, I got a lot of stuff to do. I mean, I stayed up till I think midnight
Yeah.
working on this stuff. And I have to push through. I have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And take advantage of the time that I do have when she wants to hang out or, you know, I just go in her room and lay next to her. But last night, it was best for me to come in and do what I have to do.
Take care of your stuff, yeah.
You know, and not feel guilty about that, right? Just know like this is part of being a business, you know, being a business owner. This is part of, but it's a balancing act between, you know, play, you know, and work.
You have to be okay with not doing things sometimes. Like sometimes you do it. Right? You said you were going to do something. You committed to something. It's a great opportunity. You don't want to miss this thing. But not every single thing that you have an idea about that comes your way has to be done. There's things that come up for me sometimes and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it because I don't have time for that. I'm not going to sacrifice my time to do that when I could be hanging out. Like I would rather spend time with my family. I'm not going to that.
Right.
I'm not doing this.
Right.
I'm not going to commit to your thing of meeting with you guys every week because I already have my podcast with my wife. I have my own podcast. I have my kids. I have jujitsu. I'm not trading any of this stuff for that.
Right.
If something is more important than any of these things, then we can think about it. But nothing outweighs any of this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I keep these a priority.
And those are great boundaries. And that is the thing that I did not have before.
Yeah.
You know, and even now, because I love what I do, I can get really focused. And whether, you know, I'm on my phone because I'm posting, you know, or I'm looking up something, you know, for the business, you know, and I'm around my family and I'm
Your face is in your phone.
My face is in my phone. Like those are the things that I need to stay aware of, you know, because you can get lost, especially when you're excited, like it's something new, you know, it's important to have that awareness and to schedule a time. And that's why I'm working on like my schedule so that I have that time, the time where I am posting, right? I'm learning how to post for the week on Facebook so that I don't have to be in that.
You just got to figure out a way to make the game work for you. Right. Instead of letting the game work you need to figure out how to make the game work for you.
Don't become the tool.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? We heard it before and somebody brought it up recently. Like if you're getting, especially like digital technology type of stuff, that if you're getting something for free, like if you're not paying for the service that you're using, you are like the tool or whatever. Like like they're using you.
Yeah. You know, I went to this event, and during the event, before she had started, she said, "We are not human doers. We are human beings."
Hmm.
And I'm like, "Ooh, I like that. I'm going to use that."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There was something, so one of the other things that I've been working on, looking at it right now, but I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast that I had bought this website, this domain called monkeys8mushrooms.com. The monkeys, the number 8 mushrooms.com. And I thought that it was a cool name for a website. And the idea came to me just kind of based off of, if you guys haven't heard of what's called like the stone date theory, which is, you know, something that I find interesting. Maybe it's how things came to be, but that's kind of what it's about. And I decided that this Monkeys 8 Mushrooms, I'm going to turn it into something, turn it into a brand. I was going to start with t-shirt designs first, and then who knows what this thing could be turn into, because it's a lot bigger than just t-shirts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it is kind of based off of what I think, you know, and yeah, make sure you guys check that out. monkeys8mushrooms.com. It should be up by now because you guys will hear this next week. But yeah, that's my next thing, and I'm pretty excited to, you know, share the website and what it's all going to be about. You know, it's tough because I'm just so tired of talking about my beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I am. I'm tired of going over it because I'm one of tens of billions, maybe, I don't know, people that have lived on the planet, and every single one of them has had their own beliefs. Mm-hmm. I'm not as unique or as special as, you know, like it sounds like it sometimes when I'm talking or whatever, but I know I'm not. I'm one of tens of billions that have all had beliefs and thoughts. I don't need to go over it over and over again and talking about others' beliefs and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I know what's important to me, and that's it. But this is kind of based off of that, and there's a lot of people that may feel the same way, and it's a really cool idea. And if you're into it, you can check out or look up what the stone date theory is, but it kind of is in line with all kinds of other stuff. I mean, you can kind of put it together, but the art is like super cool. And yeah, check it out, monkeys8mushrooms.com. You can do the number 8, or you can do ATE, monkeys8mushrooms.com. And both websites will have different shirts. Yeah. But eventually I think it's going to have information on, you know, what it is, and, you know, maybe like my thoughts, because that'll be a place for me to put some stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You know?
So as you mentioned earlier, our daughter got her permits, and wow, she's been busy as well. So she had received an email from one of her favorite teachers, and they asked her if she would be open to join the yearbook club. And because Audrey had no idea like what that would look like, but because she respected that teacher and it was one of her favorite teachers and she needed help, she said yes. And so she's been coming home at times like at 6:30 from school, and they even had her attend Saturday.
Yeah.
And she got home at what time? Like 5:30?
Yeah, almost 6 too.
Yeah, and she's been busting her butt, and I'm so proud of her. She's getting into something that I think is really, or I know it's really good for her, because she's a bit bashful, and this is pushing her out of her comfort zone. Yeah. Because she's being requested to go speak to students and get pictures and find out, you know, the clubs that they're in, and like gather all the information and all these things. And she's been just busy. Yeah. You know, like today I asked her, I have an event that I'm going to at 1:00 before my event. And I asked her, would you like to come with me? And she said, Mom, she's like, I would. She's like, but I've been so busy. And I told her, it's okay. Because she looked at me like if my feelings got hurt.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's okay. I said, you know, the sound bath that I'm doing is not until 6. I said, so you can go with Dad. And she's like, okay. And I said, and then you can relax and, you know, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
You know, but she's really taking on more responsibility and getting into something that's really new for her. And she's enjoying it. And she's growing different relationships as well. You know, she's really been going through this, you know, like she broke up with her boyfriend. How long ago?
It's been a couple of months now.
And it's still lingering. You know, like it's been hard for her.
Her first like real boyfriend, yeah.
Yeah. And even that in itself was something like that an adult, you know, like her making the decision, like he's not for me.
Yeah, like that was a decision that she made for herself
that's causing the pain and suffering that she's going through. Yeah. And she's so aware. She's very wise for a 15-year-old.
But she knows that's what was best for her.
Yeah. 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 Everybody was thinking, well, my family, they were thinking that he broke up with her because of the way, you know, she was talking and I was like, oh, no. She's the one
that broke it
And they're
off.
like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, she just felt that he wasn't, you know, the one. And she made that decision, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy. I'm telling you, they get big quick. You got to enjoy them, you know, enjoy them enjoy them at all the different stages because they're all different. They're all different.
Yeah. And we are that too.
Yeah.
Right? Like right now, I feel that our relationship is on a different stage. Like I feel that, you know, like we're going through changes.
Yeah. And there'll be changes in the future. That's just life.
It's just part of growing. It's part of the journey.
Yeah. You know, earlier, kind of getting back to something you were talking about, that somebody said that we're not human doers, right? We're human beings. And I was mentioning what I started with the monkeys ate mushrooms and all that. And the whole point behind all that was the whole doing and being thing, you know? And when I had brought, and I know there's different reasons for this, but when I had first, this is an idea that I had for a while, right? And something that I've been thinking about, and this, making the shirt was always kind of like the first initial idea. Like I know it's going to be bigger than that, but I'm going to start it with that. That's going to be the very beginning. Just selling some cool shirts that maybe make people think about some stuff. Oh, that's a cool design or whatever. But I know that it's way bigger than just shirts, right? And I think that you also understand that it's not just a t-shirt thing. It's starting as a t-shirt thing, but it could turn into a huge thing.
It is going to, yes.
Right? And you can see like that is it is what it is. And when this thing kind of popped back up because, you know, it's 2025 and we're thinking about stuff. And this really wasn't one of the things that was on my goals to do this year. But for some reason, I don't remember exactly what it was. Something came into my head and I started thinking about it again. And then I hit up my little brother and I'm like, hey, dude, I want you to draw me something. And then when I was trying to get him to draw me something, I was trying to find old images that I had been working on. And then I started working on something and I made something really cool. And that's what I turned into. But when I started, it started getting me excited about this thing again. So I started talking about it again, right? It had been forever since I even talked about it. And I started coming to you and you could see that I'm getting excited about, you know, the monkeys ate mushrooms and all this stuff. And one of your first questions was, how much time is this going to take? And I was like, I haven't even really thought about that. And then I even thought about like the question. And then my thought is like, who gives a fuck? Like the way that I feel about this, that's all that matters. The the feeling that this gives me, it's not a feeling of growing this gigantic thing that's going to become a movement or what. I'm just excited about making a shirt. I'm excited about making a business card and have like just the idea of somebody picking up a business card and being curious, like, what the, this is kind of interesting. I wonder what it is. Mm-hmm. And then just stumbling across something. That's exciting to me, you know? And it reminded me of, I told you, it reminded me of that book that we talked about a few episodes back, the Tao of Winnie the Pooh, where they talk about Taoism. And they were talking about like how Winnie the Pooh does all these things, but it doesn't seem like it's like an organized, thought out, like, this is how I'm doing this. This is how I'm going to get there. This is what I need to do. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like this thing. Like, it just kind of popped into my head. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be a great idea. I think that would be interesting. What can I do? And then it just starts getting you excited and getting your wheels turning. And you get this feeling, right? And it's different than I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to build a thing. I'm going to start a thing. Mm-hmm. It's just different.
Yeah. No, I felt that way with trusting, or not trusting, Healing Hearts. Right?
Like, I just want to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, there was no mission or vision or business plan. Now I got it. Right. But I'm over a year in, you know, and an elevator pitch. There was nothing like that. It was just something that came to me that got me excited. And I just kind of started going with the flow. Like, yeah.
And I think it's a similar feeling like when we were talking about before, like the things that you should be doing versus like the things that you shouldn't be doing, like something that just kind of comes across that's kind of in your field, but you don't really feel like doing that. Like, it's just, there's some things that, you know, I don't really feel like doing that. And I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Mm-hmm. Now, some things you may not feel like doing it because you know what that all entails, and that may be difficult, but you know that might be the best thing for you. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
You know, like that, you have to fight that and do it anyway.
Yes.
But there's these things that they're really just not that important that come across our desk. And just because we are who we are, it's like I say yes, or I help people, I do this, I show up, and you do it. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do everything. If you have something that gives you this feeling that I want to do it, I'm curious about it, it makes me excited, do it. And I really do feel like I don't have this experience with like a multi-million, whatever the fuck, but I don't care. Mm-hmm. I really don't, because I really do feel that if you do something like that, the money doesn't really, as long as you have just enough to not fucking die, you'll be okay, because you can do that forever. You can literally do that forever.
Yeah.
You'll just be happy doing and being excited about what you're doing.
Right. Versus being and doing something that does not make you happy.
I got to do this.
The suffering, there's the pain behind it. Yeah, because there's a number attached to it. Like,
it's I don't know if it's exactly the same, but it's a similar thing to when I would work out with the mindset of I have to work out. I have to get, like, I got to get the 100 pull-ups in. I got to get the 100 burpees in. 10, 20, 30, instead of, dude, like, let's see what the fuck I'm capable. Like, let's see where, like, I know where I've been and I gotten so fucking close, and I'm going to crush. Let's see what, that's a completely
it's a different mindset.
Energy.
It's a different mindset. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And when you can stay in that for the things that you're doing, I think that's it. You have unlimited motivation and energy for that type of stuff.
Yeah. It gives you energy versus taking your energy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're more excited about doing it versus feeling like, oh, you're forced to do it. Like, this is something that I gotta do. This is something that I have to do versus this is something that I want to do.
Back to the working out, like at the end of the freaking 100 pull-ups and 100 burpees, when I've been sitting there counting, I'm like, ugh, I got to do 10. Ugh, and at the end of 100, I'd be like 98, 99, 100. Ugh, thanks. Thank God that's done. But when you have the other mentality, I mean, it's like, when you're at 95, like I would maybe take a pause in between, you know, but when I have the other mentality, it's like, let's fucking go. Let's knock it. Like we only got 5 left. Let's fucking crush these 5. And then when I'm done, I'm looking in the mirror, like, look at this fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to find those things that bring you that energy that you feel that way about.
And you can create it though. You can create that same mindset even with, because working out, I don't know like too many people that are like, oh, I'm so excited to work out today. But when you change the way you look at it, everything changes.
Yep.
You're excited about going, you know, and maybe that's why they say, you know, to put a picture of, if you find an article and there's a woman or a man that has, you know, the body that you want to create, then take that picture and put it
Cut it out.
on.
Put it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Put it somewhere where you're going to see it, whether it's first thing in the morning before you go to the gym, whatever, and then write a statement out.
Yeah.
Right.
And dude, and once you get to these, once you've done enough work, like for me, what you're talking about, that guy is George St. Pierre, the UFC fighter. Like I remember one time, like I just like the dude, the way he is, the way he fights. And he's a super nice guy. And when like he is like the definition of a martial artist. Like he is to this day retired years ago, and he'll wake up and he does his stretches, he'll do his training, he does his pull-ups, does all his shit. Like he still trains martial arts. And when I saw this dude, I'm just like that dude is fucking ripped. Like that is what the human body is capable of looking like, you know?
Yeah.
And we have a similar body type, except that I've never made mine look that way. But like I said, over the years of doing all this shit and then finally getting to that point where I was last year, and I'm like, dude, you're not that far from where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the difference is? That I'm fucking 40 and he wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, that's a huge difference too. But when you've done that much work, at this point, I don't need his picture. I have my own picture in my head.
Right.
Before the holidays, I was fucking ripped. Then the holidays came and I gained 20 pounds. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast. I gained 20 pounds and I enjoyed every fucking bite of every single thing that I ate. But the reason that I'm saying that is because gaining 20 pounds in less than a month.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine for somebody that works so hard on their diet to gain fucking 10 pounds just in a couple of days?
Yeah. No.
Like, if you don't have the right mindset, you're going to be like, oh my God, like all the fucking work I'm doing. But for me, it's like, this is funny. It's funny how much weight I'm gaining because it's going to be a hell of a fucking comeback story. And it's not, bet me. Bet me. It is guaranteed that it is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went on that roller coaster with him, but I'm like, I'm not weighing myself.
It's different for men and women. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
different physiology and all
definitely.
That. Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do this. Like what you're doing, I can't go that hardcore because
I was going crazy.
Because I know, like I was having some of it. Like I had fun, right? Dude, I had fun. But I wasn't going as deep as Miguel because I know I'm a woman and it takes more work for me to shed that weight. You know what I did notice?
What?
I fucking felt like shit.
Yeah, that's true too.
I did not feel good. And that's why, like, once we were done, I'm like, I need to fast because I need to detox all this shit that I put into my body because I am not feeling my ultimate self.
Right.
I am not aligned. And so that's when I decided I'm going to fast. And it was only going to be a 3-day fast. My second day was so crazy. My second day was hard. I ended up throwing up. I started feeling so nauseous that I threw up. I've never thrown up during one of my fasts, but it's because of all that shit I put in my body.
Yeah. I went to bed like hurting every day. And like in the morning, I was like, oh, I'm still. How many times in the morning I was like, I'm not eating until dinner tonight, because I would wake up in the morning and I'm like, and then she would start cooking bacon and shit, and then I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll eat. You know, I would wake up in the morning. We had like cake, like this raspberry. Oh man, this raspberry cake left over from Christmas, dude. You want to hear what a fat shit I was? I'll wake up in the morning and pour myself a glass of milk and cut myself a piece of cake. And then I'll get a spoon and I'll cut the cake off and I dip the spoon in the milk and I eat that. That's how I eat cake. Like
I'm like, it must be great to be a man.
That's how you gain 20
for real,
pounds.
man. Yeah. Like it must be great to be a man, because there's no way. I probably would have gained more weight. You've already dropped how many pounds?
Yeah. So
within how long?
8 pounds.
In how long?
8 pounds in like 5 days. I mean, it's been 8 pounds. I haven't dropped anything in the last couple of days. But it's been 8 pounds over in a week.
Yeah. Yeah. Women don't do that.
No, but I bet you'd be surprised if you did it. If you made yourself gain 10 pounds or 15 pounds.
Babe, I've done it before.
I know, but also I actually thought about like doing this just to see what would happen. Like take 1 full month and just do what I did for the holidays and gain as much weight as possible, which is 20, 25 pounds or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then pick a date and then start. But start like 100% strict, 100% working out, and then see how long it takes me to get back.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it would be impressive. Like at 40, you fucking gain all this weight and then lose all this weight, when so many people are talking. How many people are talking about like, oh, as you wait till you get older, this is,
Yeah.
Maybe I'm different. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Yeah. Babe, you said I wouldn't be surprised. I've done that. And I don't drop weight as fast.
You can't say you've done. Like
I've done it. I've put
like
on
you've
weight.
gained the weight and then you've gone 100% strict, working out every day. Not eating anything
well,
and you've tracked it. Like you know how much you started at and how much you ended at and how many days and all that.
I've weighed myself from the beginning. No, I've done that.
Okay. And what were your numbers?
I don't remember. It's been a bit, But that's how I know.
Well, what did you do? How did you do?
I did good. But I didn't lose as much weight as fast as you do.
I'm a dude, but I'm sure it wasn't nothing, and I'm sure you lost a good amount of weight.
Yeah. I mean, look at me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm saying is, even for guys, not just women, as you get older, people make all kinds of excuses for shit.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that women, our hormones, it's really reading this book and why fasting helps. We are different. We are created different, and it is really difficult for women, even when they're eating well and working out, to lose weight, because they gain a lot of weight within their midsection because the imbalance of the hormones, that lack of estrogen that starts coming in after the age, or that stops coming in after the age of 40.
Okay.
So there's some medical reasons behind that.
Okay. I mean, I don't fucking.
But regardless, it's about how you feel. Like it is hard. Being a woman and not, all the shift and the transition that happens as we age. But it's also how you feel inside. If you are working out, going to the gym, and you're eating well, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel good, and you're going to be healthier, regardless whether you're not losing, the pouch, or the stomach weight.
Like your body gets used to things. And this is man, woman, your body gets used to things. Like if you put on a shit ton of lotion every day, stop putting on lotion and what happens? What happens?
Your body feels
your skin is dry because your body hasn't been moisturizing it because you put the moisturizer on and your body doesn't need it anymore. You know, like I had a teacher that told me that about chapstick. Like her lips were always chapped because she always put on chapstick, and then she went to the doctor and they told her to stop wearing chapstick. That's why her lips are chapped all the time. And she stopped wearing chapstick, and I guess it helped or whatever. But I can see how your body, like when you're working out on a consistent basis and you're eating healthy, your body is on a roll. Like it is burning. You're working out. Your body is working. It's burning. It's doing like, it's in this mode the majority of the time, right? If you decide it's holiday time and I'm stopping, I'm not working out anymore, I'm not going to be eating healthy, I'm going to eat all the junk, your body doesn't know what the hell, like it doesn't know what your brain is doing. Your brain is thinking, I'm switching this up, and your body's still on let's go mode. So you start eating the stuff and your body is burning through all that shit. I've seen it. It's happened to me where I eat junk and it just gets burned up and burned off. Like it's gone. Now, over time, little by little, your body's like, oh shit, it doesn't seem like we're working out anymore. It doesn't seem like we're eating healthy anymore. And then little by little, it starts changing. You know, but I have a feeling like when you get on a roll and you stay on a roll, like you can switch things up. You can eat like shit but your body knows like what your
muscle, the more muscle
like your
you
balance
build.
is. Like if you skip working out for a week, your body doesn't lose much because it knows like we do this shit every fucking day. 1 week out is not going to do anything. You know?
Yeah.
Now, when you're out for 6 months, your body has shifted into a different mode.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then you gotta, and it's tough, dude. When I did that first, after coming back, after not doing anything, holy shit. I went to go do, so I've mentioned it on here, like my main workout for everything, just to stay in shape, is burpees, or is the Navy SEAL burpees. I say burpees, but it's not the burpees you guys are thinking of. If you look up Navy SEAL burpees, pull-ups and cardio 3 times a week. I do the burpees and the pull-ups 3 times a week, cardio 3 times a week, and I train jiu-jitsu 3 times a week. And that's just kind of what I keep it at. And dude, when I went to go do the pull-ups and the burpees for the first time this year on Monday on the 6th, when I went back to work, I got down and I felt like my elbow was just going to explode. I thought my shoulder was going to pop out. I was like, what the, you know? And I was like, I haven't done anything for weeks. I'm going to feel great. Well, not really, because like, you know, you start feeling your, like, it's weird.
With sugar,
it's weird with all the junk and the sugar and actually not moving, not working out. Dude, things were achy.
Your body's like, what are you doing to me?
Yeah, for real. But you know what? I did note it, and it was uncomfortable. And after, 2 or 3 sets, then set number 4, set number 5, I was like, okay, like I think things are loosening up, and I feel okay. So, yeah, and that's when I was like, all right, you know what? The mentality right back the first thing after not doing anything. My shoulder hurts, my elbow hurts, my knees are fucking popping when I'm doing the burpees. And it's doubt. After all the fucking work I've put in, after all the shit that I've talked about being ripped and all this other shit, it's doubt.
Yeah.
Damn, this hurts. Damn, that hurts. Fuck, this is going to be hard. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's your fucking mind.
Isn't it crazy? Yeah, the mind is a powerful tool. It can work for you or against you.
But then you have to reprogram it, because after the first 3 sets and everything started loosening up and I started feeling better and I didn't feel the pain in my elbow, I didn't feel the pain in my shoulder, and now I'm starting to feel the pump in my arms and everything. And then by set 4 and set 5, it's like, no. Now we're doing this.
I got this.
You know?
I got this.
But it is crazy. Like the first set is like, this fucking hurts. Oh, I don't know if are we gonna, maybe we should have never stopped. Yeah. Like that's also a thought, because I felt good before I stopped, and now this all hurts again. So.
Yeah.
But it's always a thing. Just fucking push through it. Always push through. Yeah. You're way more capable than you think you are.
For sure. So I went back to the gym, and I'm fasting, so I didn't want to it's not I don't know. I don't think that it's a smart idea to like go hard. So I was doing planks, but I got back into my stretching, sitting in the sauna for 30 minutes. And during my stretch, I just kept stretching and stretching. And before I had hurt my hamstring.
Yeah.
During
was it stretching?
Trying to do the splits.
Yeah.
And so that sucked because I went a bit backwards. And the last time I was at the gym, I was like practically, I was there. I was probably like 1 inch off the floor. If someone, if you just pushed me down a bit, I would have got that. But then I'm like, damn, am I going to jack up my hamstring again? Because that thought came to me, like, I just need someone to, put some pressure on me so that I can get there.
I think that's a good thing. Like, I'm just thinking about that whole process for you, because you were so close to it.
Oh, I was before that happened with my hamstring.
You were so close to it, and then you hurt yourself, and now you have to go back.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go back from where you were and work your way back to where you were and past where you were if you want to reach that goal.
Right.
Which fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good thing. I think the more you do that, the better it is for you. Mm-hmm. It really is, because I don't think it's any different than gaining 20 pounds and then losing it again.
Yeah.
You know what has examples of this nonstop? Jiu-jitsu. You start making progress and what happens? Your fucking rib pops out. Your shoulder pops out. Your wrist gets hurt. Your knee blows out.
Yeah.
And now you got to get surgery and you're out for 6 months. And then you got to recover. And then if you really care, you'll come back.
Yeah.
If you really want it, you'll come back.
Yeah. That's the same thing with working out. Like going to the gym, because it hurts.
But the thing is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, like next week, right? It's going to hurt. I'm going to be sore as shit.
Like, dude, we were watching something. I know he's kind of controversial or whatever, but we like him. Aaron Rodgers. I can't imagine his mentality, like his mindset when he was like, after everything that he went through, to go to the Jets and be so excited to be part of that team. And you could feel like that whole team, like if you watch the thing about the team, like we haven't seen as much about the team, but I follow a lot of stuff, about the Packers and Rodgers and all that. Dude, that team was, before the season, was on fire. Like they were all together. They were ready to fucking go to the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, I know it's every team wants to go to the Super Bowl every year, and it's so difficult to like win one or whatever. Yeah. But he is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best in the NFL. And to go to a team that hasn't won one in so long and all this stuff, and everybody's like, fuck yeah, we got this guy. 4 plays in, he tears his Achilles, and he's done for the season.
Man, that was hard. That was hard to watch. And I can only imagine how he felt.
Terrible for him, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think one of the people, I think it was like within a couple days, like Aaron Rodgers hit him up and he's like, this is the plan. This is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Step 1 is this, rehab this, strengthen this, training this, and I'm going to try and come back this season. Yeah. And if I can't come back this season, like it was always, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do, like he wants it.
Yes. And his, who was it? The person that was helping him with his stretches and all of that.
His physical therapist, probably somebody like that.
Okay. She told him there's no way, like there's no way you're going to get back that soon. And he's like, watch me. And he was really having her, she felt uncomfortable, like pushing him to certain extents, but he's like, no, make it faster.
Yeah.
Right?
What is that? Why is that? Is he different?
His mentality is.
His mentality.
He's not different, but for him his desire to get back on the field.
Another thing they talked about on that documentary was that when he was young, and I think he was either I think it was in high school, nobody had to tell him what he needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he did it. You didn't have to tell him to go to training. You didn't have to tell him to work out.
Yes.
You didn't have to tell him to do drills. You didn't have to tell him, like, he was seeking drills. He was looking for workouts.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, dude, he was all about it. Like, you know, and so many people have ideas of things and don't do shit. And guess what that does? What does that create in your mind? More doubt.
Unworthiness.
More doubt of what could have been.
Yeah.
Now,
regret.
And why does it create doubt? It's because it's these things that we like inside, there's something in us that maybe makes us feel like maybe we can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's another part of us that's bigger that says, why the fuck not?
Right.
And when you lean towards the why the fuck not, and you're not going to do all of them. You'll fail at a bunch of them.
Well,
but when you do, you'll learn at a bunch of them.
Yes.
But when you nail one and nail another one, and then you start looking back and you have these cookies in the cookie jar like we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, dude, I've overcome this. I've overcome that. They've said that I wasn't going to do this. They said that I wouldn't do that. They didn't want me in college. They didn't want me in this. I got picked at the end of the round when I was supposed to be number one. This happened and that happened.
Right.
And look at everything that So when you say it takes the average person this long and that this doesn't happen with the average person, well, guess what? I don't do what average people do. Mm-hmm. I don't think the way average people think, even though we are essentially all the same.
Right. Yeah.
That's what makes us different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, yes. Well, I'm excited about your new endeavor.
Yeah.
Because you are excited.
Yeah.
I see that the potential of it, you know, but it starts with one t-shirt.
Starts with one t-shirt. Make sure you guys go check it out. Monkeys8, the number 8 mushrooms.com.
Yes.
Make sure you guys check out our other stuff, Fighting for Your Life podcast. Check out our Clips channel.
Yes, yes.
And also make sure you guys look out for Healing Hearts coaching for sure, the retreats and everything that we have going on. And
you guys can go to soniaramirez.com and schedule a discovery call. And that just, allows us to get to know each other, to see if, there's a potential for future coaching. And I have a retreat that I am creating. It's May 8th through the 11th. So if you would like more information on that, it's going to be located in Pine Top, Arizona. We have our own private lake, so there's going to be an option for you to go kayaking, paddleboarding. We're going to be doing some meditation, some breath work, some sound bath. I will be doing some transformational coaching. It's going to be very intimate. So there's only 10 spots available. So if you feel called to attend, if you would like more information, please feel free to reach out or go to my website as well.
Yep. Thank you guys for being with us.
Yes. Thank you guys for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you for watching Opposites Attract podcast,
where we get better
together. Bye.